The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what I mean. It's my scene, you know what
Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and welcome to or welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harryhook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? Come here. I let everyone in on a little secret when they come over to this channel. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. I just want to talk about the Boondocks again. Okay, this is one of my favorite childhood shows that I shouldn't have been watching in my childhood, but I love it. And there's always just something to talk about with this series because as time passes, I just notice more things. But today we're gonna be talking about Thugnificent because I have been singing If Granddad like all summer, and I was like, I have yet to talk about Thugnificent on my channel, and I have a lot of words. I have some words, lots of words to say about this guy. For those of you guys who don't know, basically the Boondocks is just a social commentary on Black America. That's basically it. That's all I really can tell you. It's based off a comic strip of the same name. While the comic strip focuses more on the children that are in the series, the TV show focuses on the adults just as well. And we see lots of them more than the kids sometimes, especially season 4. Season 4 of the season is so... Ooh, y'all. If you've never seen the Boondocks before and you clicked on this video, don't watch the 4th season. Don't watch all of them. Just watch the Freedom Riders episode. Watch the Slave Theme Park. Yes, there was an episode like that. And then I think those are the only ones. That Kardashian episode is bad. It's like really terrible. Now, I want to talk about a character in the first 3 seasons named Thugnificent. Basically, everyone in the Boondocks represents someone within our society, and a lot of the Black characters here represent specific kinds of Black people. While everyone here is an over exaggeration of these kind of people, we're like, yeah, I know that person. I know who this is. I am aware what celebrity acts like that. Thugnificent is a rapper that came from nothing, as a lot of rappers come from nothing. And that's where the problems begin. Thugnificent was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He is not a trust fund baby. Music is what got him out of poverty, like how it has gotten numerous other Black people out of poverty just as well. Black people often turn to music when it comes to their come up for numerous documentaries and biopics that I have seen, like Unsung on TV1. An entire show about it. Go watch, I recommend. Usually they turn to making music. If you couldn't sing, you produce beats. If you couldn't produce beats, you rapped. If you couldn't produce beats and you couldn't rap, you learn how to produce beats. And Black people often turn to rap music for the betterment of their lives. Because rap music not only is our culture, but it's also very fun music. Like, rap music is feel-good music. This is the kind of music that you hear at the club. This is the kind of music that you hear at parties and public events. Like, some Black people kind of feel like they don't really have much of a choice when it comes to wanting more and having a better and more safe and luxurious life. And I know people be saying shit talking about everyone wants to be a rapper nowadays, but rap music has proven that it has helped Black people, especially those who have not come from much. That's why Black people catch a whole attitude when rich suburban white boys try to take over the rap scene. A lot of people try to say hip-hop is for everyone, but when people try to ignore what hip-hop has done for the Black community because they simply want to support a suburban rich white rapper, it's like, hey, you can have that person, but like, don't try to speak over these people for having a valid opinion. Like, plenty of these rappers have come from poverty and they don't really have any form of nepotism and have a hard time going to college because one, they either go and take out a shit ton of loans that they're gonna be paying off until they die, or they just simply go without because they know that they're not going to be able to pay off those loans, like being realistically, because there's a lot of people out here that aren't able to pay them off, and they just don't go at all because they just simply cannot afford it and don't want to be in debt. Yes, rap music and the hip-hop community has a bunch of issues, but we can acknowledge that the reason why so many black people go to do it. Plenty of my favorite rap artists have come from nothing, and this music is what got them to pay their bills and then some. We can have both conversations. Like, we live in a very gimme, gimme, gimme society that encourages us to buy expensive things so we can feel like we belong among the rich. You know them like perfume ads where it makes it look like it's all hot and sexy and beautiful, but you know that shit probably smell like rotten flowers, carpet cleaner, and 10 cans of Bounce That Ass. I'm looking at you, Dior. We live in a society that encourages us to engage with rich media, and it has been for like such a very young age, because I know back in the 90s, before we had Disney Channel become like what Disney Channel is today, along with other children's media, the movie that we had with that was like Destin Checks In and Eloise at the Plaza, and you guessed it, Richie Rich. And then we have See Life, Zack and Cody, which is a show about the lives of people who work in a 5-star hotel. And then we have Jessie, which is just a show about a rich family in New York, a very expensive part of Manhattan. And then we have Hannah Montana, a show about a very, very rich pop star living in Malibu, California, one of the most expensive places to live in America. We read The Click Books, which was just a series about rich girls. And I'm gonna be real, many people, including me, we like don't be in the mood to watch and read shit about poor people. I'm sorry. We don't want to read about people struggling all the time. We want to escape because no one wants to struggle with money, okay? People like Thugnificent have always seen things like about rich people, and because of how poor they are, they give them the drive to do whatever they can to have that somewhat. And when people who come from poverty, when they don't really have sources to do better about the advancement of their career and they have a hard time getting connection, they will resort to things such as selling drugs and sex work, scamming, and you guessed it, rap music. And it's not a bad thing that Thugnificent used rap music for his come up. Not at all. But what he did with the money that he made led to things falling down for him, and his ass was humbled real quick. He went from spending bands on shit that he didn't need to working on UPS because of that. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with you working for UPS at all. No, respect UPS work. Oftentimes when people that come from nothing, they feel the need to buy every little last expensive thing that they see in sight, and when they are at the heights of their careers. Like, they feel like they need to go on vacations to Mexico and Jamaica all the time because they didn't have that opportunity to go in the past. They go to 5-star restaurants almost every night of the damn week and order as much as they want and don't look at the price of anything or take a to-go box of what they didn't finish. Y'all, I kid you not. Y'all know that Corinne Steffen's book, My Life is a Video Vixen? She was talking about, I don't figure out who it was, but she went on a date with this one rapper, and she said that he was ordering like whatever he wanted on the plate, and he'd take 2 bites of it and he's like, okay, I want to move on and get something else. And it was like probably 10 plates up on the plate. It was probably like 10 plates up on their table of him just ordering and wasting food. Like, he was like, I want a little bit of this, I want a little bit of that, and da-da-da-da. And I'm pretty sure that he did not take a to-go box of any of that. Like, I'm telling you, rich people be so wasteful with their money. Rich people be so wasteful when it comes to food. I kid you not. If I don't finish my meal at a restaurant, I'm taking it to go box because no, I paid for it. It'd be one thing if the meal was nasty, but no, I want to finish that. And then also, they don't be looking at the price. Like, I always look at the damn price tag when I'm ordering food because when Thugnificent got rich, he went and bought himself a mansion in the suburbs when he really should have just gotten a nice little luxury apartment. And then also, in this big ass mansion, he was always having parties, and all the decor in the house was just like statues of them, which are not cheap because they were made out of gold. He was always buying very expensive clothes and jewelry, and he'd be hiring women to do like the stupidest jobs for him. Like, he literally hired a woman just so she can say ding dong every time he rang the doorbell. Like, it's just stupid shit like that. And this Thugnificent situation honestly reminds me of that one episode from SpongeBob when I'm pretty sure SpongeBob hit the lottery or some shit and he was like super duper rich. And then at the end of the episode, he was poor again. Well, he wasn't poor. SpongeBob was well off, but let's get into it. It's funny because both of these men, they got all of that shit taken away from them because of horrible spending habits and just not being wise with their money in general. While SpongeBob's rise and fall happened in an 11-minute segment, Thugnificent, while he was in numerous episodes of the show, this was over 2 episodes. Each episode was about 22 minutes long, so 44 minutes of the entire series. Where the episode where we bring him in and we see his come up, it's called Rags to Bitches. But then the episode where we see that he gotta go work at UPS, it's called Bitches to Rags. And it's very kind of interesting because while Thugnificent didn't really go all the way back to the bottom, I'm pretty sure him being Thugnificent the rapper is why he was able to get a somewhat well-paying job. But the funny thing I see when it comes to SpongeBob's financial situation with him being horrible with his money and Thugnificent is that what's different is that SpongeBob was already doing just fine. He lived in a nice middle class area. He had food in his house. He was able to support his pet snail. He had a job. SpongeBob seemed to be just doing just okay because I know he went back to work. SpongeBob is doing fine. Thugnificent, on the other hand, when he ended up losing everything, he really couldn't go back because he didn't really have anything to go back to. So he did what he could with that last result that he had and went and got a job somewhere that paid him somewhat good. It was a bit scary in a sense because in this episode, as we know, the Boondocks is a satire, but it does have heart to it at the same time. We saw how Thugnificent was getting frustrated with how his music wasn't taking off. He was having trouble paying bills and keeping the upkeep on his house. Because one thing people don't seem to understand is that when you get a big luxurious place, you have to keep it up because stuff will start to rot. It'll be a lot of things to clean, cooking, things like start to build up. You have to upkeep that. That's one thing a lot of people don't seem to understand when they buy a really, really big house. And it's scary in a sense because we see how upset he's getting. We see he's like, I used to have all of this money. Where the fuck is this going to? And that's so much of that had to do with the decline in his popularity. And I remember Granddad was like, you need to go get a job because this rap shit not working for you no more. And he didn't want to go get a job because he was so in denial and he was so upset that it wasn't working for him anymore. So you know what he did? He put that afro down. And he did what he had to do to make sure that he could support himself. And that's kind of like the sad reality for a lot of rappers out here. There's so many rappers from the early 2000s that I used to hear about all the time. And you don't hear shit from them no more. And it's probably because they did Thugnificent shit. No, not probably. They did. Because like I said, the Boondocks is a commentary on Black America. So much of the scenarios that happened here, if not almost all of them, these things happened. For realsy. I say this is more in the first 2 seasons than the 3rd though. Like, Thugnificent wasn't doing well. And the thing a lot of artists don't seem to understand is that popularity affects how much money they make. You may be at the height and peak of your career. Make sure you are doing better about what you're doing with that money. Put it into savings. Invest in it. He did not do that. If you ask me, Thugnificent should have started a clothing line. Would have had that to fall back on. While it is implied that Thugnificent was a millionaire, y'all might get mad at me for saying this. Sorry, not sorry, but $1 million should not go that fast. It should not. If he didn't buy that big ass house, if he didn't keep having them damn house parties, and if he didn't pay all them damn women to come see him all the time, he would have been fine. Along with him buying them expensive clothes. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with buying nice things. But so many people just be buying stuff just for the sake of them saying, I have this, I have that. This wouldn't have happened. If he was more wise with his spending choices, he wouldn't have to go work at UPS. Shout out to UPS, okay? Respect the people that work at the damn post office and the ones that be shipping y'all packages, okay? They deserve better. And by the way, I don't want people to think that me saying that he had to go get a service job is a bad thing. Because no, we need service workers. Service workers are important to our society because society would not be able to function without them. I'm saying that he would not have had to go to that if he did better about what he did with all that money that he had. But part of the reason that we have to remember is why he has such bad spending habits is because he went from not being able to have nothing at all to having everything that he wanted. Because of him in his past not having money and then getting it and then getting a lot of it at one time, he would have been okay if he didn't feel the need to flex. At the end of Thugnificent and SpongeBob's arc, we saw how people were treating them differently because of them having money. And we saw that they were indifferent towards them because they had no money. Because at the end of the episode with SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs was like, I'm gonna see you at work tomorrow. And I was just like, I find that so funny because Mr. Krabs was literally kissing SpongeBob's ass because he saw that he had more money than him. And then once he saw SpongeBob was back to his regular salary, he was like, oh yeah, you're beneath me again. Mr. Krabs ain't shit, y'all. Money will really show you who down for you and who likes you because of you and who just like you because you can afford big things. And one thing about the people that I follow, the main reason I'm following them is because they're very wise with their spending choices. And they're very wise with their money just as well. Like, yes, you can have nice things and then some. But then also, you got to remember that you have to invest back into that. You still need to keep up the hard work and dedication to how you got to that part. Because all of that could be taken away from you. You're just like, oh, I got all this money right now. Yeah, you have all this money right now, but that's not going to stay. You have to keep working in order to maintain that. Like, y'all are not like Beyonce. Who's somebody else that's like super duper rich and don't have to work ever again in a day in their life? Rihanna, Kamora Lee Simmons. A lot of these people don't have to work again ever a day in their life. But guess what? They worked so long for so many years and so hard to build up that wealth to where they don't have to work another day in their life again. Yeah, you got super duper rich after 1 or 2 years. You can't just not work. You gotta keep doing stuff. And like I said, I know we live like in a very capitalist society. And while I am someone that doesn't really have a desire to be rich, I am somebody that has a desire not to want to bother about how I'm gonna support myself. I want to be able to make sure I don't have to worry about how I'm gonna pay my bills and eat and all of that jazz. Like, those are normal human things. Nobody wants to be poor. Nobody wants to be broke, but people do want to be well off and not have to worry about things like. It's just kind of frustrating when people be like, oh, they don't gotta work another day in their life. When I get to this point, I'm never working again. But I'm just like, that don't work like that. And we also kind of have to blame capitalism for that just as well, because capitalism has made it set up to the point where people that do make 6 figures can't like not work a day of their life ever again. Like, at this point, you gotta be a multi-millionaire if you don't want to work another day in your life. That's the sad reality of our world. Also, y'all, it's dangerous to like be doing stuff like that, because I'm honestly surprised that nobody rubbed Thugnificent's house. Did they? I don't know. I wouldn't have been surprised. But y'all know Miss Parmoon, the one that basically made the worst skincare line in the century, where she was just mixing together olive oil and glitter. Like, she got her house robbed because she was always be flexing about how much money she got. Like, sis, don't do that. Like, she was constantly posting about that and then got robbed. Like, that was sad, but then also it's just like, that's dangerous. You cannot do that. Overall, that's just my thoughts and opinions about how flexing is just not good. And if you gonna flex, make sure you still working hard, because you gonna have to make that back. But y'all are great. Thank you guys so much for watching. This one was more of a fun one. I wanted to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted because Minute Maid was so sad. I needed something that was like a little bit more comical but still have some heart to it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you would like to support me and the channel, donation links down below. I have Patreon, I have Buy Me a Coffee, and I have Ko-fi. Links to those be down below. I know somebody's gonna say something, but yes, this is the Happy Bunny. This is the Happy Bunny. I've had this shirt since I was 9. yeah, I had this shirt since I was 9 and it still fits. But you guys want to know other ways you can support me? I have merchandise at harriyannahook.com. Use code use code HOTSPOT30 for 30% off your order. Link will be down below for the link and the website. So another way to support me, I have a website called The Progenies. We have a GoFundMe campaign going on. Please support us if you can. Also, you guys want to watch The Progenies, it is available for free. The link to that will be down below. And then also, you guys want to know another way you can support me for free is just to follow me on everything at Harriyanna, HARRIYANNA. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a good night.
'Cause I work hard to get to this point in my life. I'm blowing up, so don't hate. Just congratulate.
The Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know